Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia NEWSLINE and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 16th of January. India and Singapore natural partners, say Singapore President. China and Sri Lanka bolster BRI bond, sign new agreements. And Bangladesh top court acquits ex-PM Khaleda Zia in draft case. And now for all the details. President of Singapore, Tharman Shanmugaratnam, who was on a 4-day visit to India, was accorded a ceremonial guard of honor on Thursday at the Presidential Palace in New Delhi in the presence of President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking on the occasion, the visiting dignitary said that since Singapore's independence in 1965, the relations between both countries have grown by bounds. He said that both the countries are now on a new trajectory with the upgrade of relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership, which was announced during PM Modi's last visit to Singapore in September. He also said that Singapore is closely working on advanced manufacturing of semiconductors in India.
We are working on cooperating in advanced manufacturing in semiconductors, helping to build up the semiconductor ecosystem in India. We're working on new generation and net zero industrial parks. And we're working on the skilling for the new industries that are involved as we embark on these new paths. We are also exploring other initiatives in the digital space and in sustainability.
The Singapore president and his wife also led a wreath at Rajghat, the memorial of Mahatma Gandhi. Later in the day, he held separate bilateral meetings with PM Modi and President Murmu. The visit comes as the two nations celebrate the 60th anniversary of establishing diplomatic ties. India's Home Ministry on Wednesday said that a panel set up to investigate Washington's accusations of Indian involvement in a foil murder plot on US soil against a Khalistani separatist had recommended legal action against an unnamed person. The US has been pushing India to look into the Justice Department's claim that unnamed Indian intelligence official directed plans to assassinate dual Canadian-American citizen Gurpatwant Singh Pannu in 2023. India has said little publicly since announcing in November it would formally investigate the claims and has separately continued a diplomatic dispute with Canada over the June 2023 assassination of another Sikh leader. Sean Savard, the White House National Security Council spokesperson, said the US welcomes this constructive first step and looks forward to seeing legal action taken in the Indian system. The US Department of Justice had charged Vikas Yadav, an ex-Indian intelligence official, with leading the 2023 plot to murder Pannu. The US indictment was unsealed in October. The legal fraternity in Gilgit, Baltistan continues to struggle for basic rights and facilities, highlighting deep-rooted discrimination in the occupied region. Advocates have demanded urgent reforms to ensure fair access to justice for all. A report.
Mohammad Jalil, an advocate from Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, has raised concerns over systematic discrimination against the region's legal community. He highlighted the lack of equal rights and basic facilities, including healthcare and specialized courts, which are readily available to lawyers across Pakistan. The absence of adequate legal infrastructure, he said, is hindering justice delivery, as local lawyers struggle to provide effective representation, leading to prolonged case delays.
पूरे पाकिस्तान में वो अलग-अलग है, एजी ऑफिस अलग है, पीजी ऑफिस अलग है। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में ये सिस्टम नहीं है। हमारा जिधर मिला के एक सिस्टम चला लेते हैं, जिसमें सरकारी जो डीएस हैं उनको प्रमोट करके उनको चार्जेस देते हैं, और जो हमारे वकला हैं जिनको वकला का 100% वहाँ पे हक है वो दिया नहीं जा रहा है। हमारे जो नीचे प्रोसिक्यूटर्स हैं, हमारे सिविल जजेस की कमी है, और बहुत सारे मामलात हैं। जो हमारे स्पेशल कोर्ट्स का मामला था कि पूरे पाकिस्तान में स्पेशल कोर्ट्स हैं, हर एक्ट के लिए स्पेशल कोर्ट्स बनाए हैं, पूरे पाकिस्तान में वो चल रहा है। लेकिन गिलगित बल्तिस्तान की हद तक एक सेशन जज के पास 10-10 कोर्ट्स के चार्ज दिया हुआ है।
Locals blame Pakistan's indifferent attitude for the region's backwardness. They say decades of neglect and a corrupt administrative system have left Gilgit-Baltistan without proper governance, affecting all sections of society.
China and Sri Lanka have outlined a plan to further boost cooperation over the Belt and Road Initiative amid a series of agreements they signed on Wednesday to enhance bilateral ties. President Xi Jinping and visiting Sri Lankan President Anurakumara Dissanayake witnessed the signing of the cooperation documents between the two countries, including an agreement on Sri Lanka's export of agricultural products to China, after their official talks in Beijing. She told Dissanayake that China will actively support Sri Lanka in focusing on economic development. China's BRI has been criticized for fostering unsustainable debt levels in participating countries. Additionally, it has raised concerns about China's growing geopolitical influence. Sri Lanka had been moving closer to China under the previous Rajapaksa government, leaning heavily on Chinese lending to build highways, causing concern to India. The Supreme Court on Bangladesh acquitted former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia and her son Tariq Rahman in a 2008 corruption case on Wednesday, clearing the way for the ailing leader to fight parliamentary elections. It's the latest judicial victory for Khaleda and her family, one of two main groups that have dominated the country's politics. The case, dating from 2008, accused Khaleda and others of stealing 21 million taka in foreign donations for an orphanage trust set up during her premiership. At the time, Bangladesh was ruled by Khaleda's rival, Sheikh Hasina, who was ousted as Prime Minister last August. In November, Khaleda was accused in another corruption case. Last week, she was flown to London for treatment as she is battling health issues such as liver cirrhosis and heart problems. Since August, Bangladesh has been ruled by an interim government. Khaleda's BNP has called for general elections to be held by August this year, citing growing political and economic instability. And Indian billionaire Gautam Adani, the chairman of Adani Group, has expressed that he is determined to transform Dharavi, one of India's largest slums, into a thriving hub. The Dharavi redevelopment project is a $3 billion project led by the Adani Group to transform Dharavi. He acknowledged the challenges he faced, having failed 3 times in the past year, but he said he remains committed to providing a better life for nearly 1 million residents. Adani aims to create a classic area with improved living conditions, education, and economic opportunities. He said he is driven by a personal desire to leave a lasting legacy, hoping that the residents will remember his efforts for the next 50 years.
Resettlement ये एक ऐसा project है, और for personally, for not just group point of view, but even at my level, I always continue thinking that this particular project can create a legacy. How you can just provide dignity to 1 million population. तो आज तक 40 साल में नहीं कर पाए, 3 दफे ट्राई कर दिया, 3 दफे फेल हो गया, तो उसको मैं कैसे सक्सेसफुल, आज अदानी ग्रुप ने काफी जगह पे सक्सेसफुल स्टोरी किया, जो बिलीव नहीं कर सकते थे ऐसी चीजें बना के दिया। तो मेरा भी लिए वो है कि कभी नहीं ये काम अपने को, आई एम 62, तो मेरे को भी है कि चलो 5-10 साल के बाद मैं आई विल जस्ट रिटायर, तो मैं उसके पहले इसको ऐसा करके जाएगा कि 1 million population should remember for next 50 years.
Moving on, a Hindu ascetic laying on a bed of thorns while playing a damru, a traditional percussion instrument, attracted devotees at the ongoing Mahakumbh Mela in India's Prayagraj on Wednesday. Ramesh Kumar Manchi, a frail man, left people awestruck as he collected thorny bushes, later to be turned into a makeshift bed. People moved by the sight were seen giving cash and coins in alms to the ascetic. Manji showcased gratitude towards his spiritual master and God as he credited them with the knowledge for the dangerous feat. Held every 12 years, the 6-week Kumbh Mela festival attracts more than 400 million visitors.
सब भगवान की महिमा है, उसको पूजा करता हूँ, गुरु की सेवा करता हूँ, गुरु ने ज्ञान दिया, गुरु से आशीर्वाद दिया हमको।
कब से कांटों पे लेट रहे हैं आप?
ये आज 42 साल हो चुका है।
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.